JayZ is trending again, and this time, it's not because of a new project, Grammy win, or business deal. No. This time, it's because of a court order tied to a paternity case that's been quietly brewing for years. A judge has officially granted Ramir Satterthwaite, the man who claims to be JayZ's biological son, permission to move forward with his lawsuit and demanded that JayZ respond to the case by July 18th. That means no more ignoring it, no more legal dodging. It's real now. Now, guess who wasted no time fueling this fire? Yep, 50 Cent. The king of shade himself. He posted about it on X, like he was just waiting for the green light to stir the pot. But what shocked everyone more? Nicki Minaj joined in. She reposted 50's message and added, "Is this why he was trending the other day? Idk, to God be the glory." Nicki isn't just playing around here. She's been vocal about Roc Nation's alleged sabotage of her career and family, and now she's throwing her support behind Ramir? That's a serious shift in momentum. But here's where things get messy. According to Ramir's godmother, Beyoncé has allegedly been involved in trying to quiet the case behind the scenes. Apparently, someone close to Bey said something like, "Tell that boy to go away." If that's true, it suggests this case has the Carter camp on edge. And why wouldn't it? Because according to legal documents, the judge is allowing this case to move forward not just because of paternity, but because JayZ may allegedly be connected to something deeper, an immoral scheme involving the cross-border transportation of a minor, resulting in a child. Yeah, it's not just about child support anymore. Let's rewind. Ramir's mother, Wanda, says she had a brief relationship with JayZ in 1992 when she was only 16 and Jay was 22. According to her, she got pregnant after protection failed, and JayZ vanished from her life, except for one follow-up visit. Ramir says he first heard JayZ might be his dad when he was 8 years old, and when a man listed on his birth certificate was proven not to be his biological father, all roads pointed to JayZ. What makes this even messier is that JayZ has allegedly refused to take a paternity test for years because if he did, it could confirm not only that he's the father, but that he committed a crime by having relations with a minor and transporting her across state lines. You see where this is going? That's not a small scandal, that's a federal case waiting to happen. And the courts haven't made it easy. Wanda tried to file for child support years ago, but the case was dismissed on a technicality wrong jurisdiction. And when it was time to refile, JayZ's team argued he had no ties to New Jersey where the case was being heard. But then, surprise! Ramir found receipts in Tina Knowles' book stating JayZ did have property in New Jersey at that time. Now the judge has spoken. JayZ must respond, and the world is watching. While JayZ's legal team continues scrambling to stall, Ramir is out here laying everything bare. And it's not just about wanting a test anymore. He's exposing what he says has been a decade-long cover-up that includes fraudulent court behavior, intimidation tactics, and even attempted violence, all allegedly used to bury this case before it ever saw daylight. Let's break it down. Ramir says that back in the day, JayZ's in-house lawyer was initially cooperative. They even discussed Ramir's talent and whether he could be signed to JayZ's label. But once they realized that Wanda had been underage at the time of her alleged encounter with JayZ, the tone changed overnight. Suddenly, different lawyers were involved. The conversation shut down. It became about shields up, silence on. Ramir believes they realized just how serious this could get, and they started moving like they had something to hide. So what did Ramir do? He kept pushing. He took the fight to the New Jersey Superior Court and even tried to go all the way to the Supreme Court. But the system kept pushing back allegedly because JayZ's legal power and influence were working behind the scenes to shut it down. Ramir didn't hold back in his comments. He accused the courts of fraud, collusion, and corruption, saying judges had repeatedly overlooked clear evidence. He said flat out, "If you can't see that, then I don't know what else we can do." And get this, Ramir says that after filing a civil suit, someone tried to unalive him. He shared pictures of his car riddled with bullets and claimed people planted things in his vehicle to get him arrested. If true, we're talking about a story that isn't just tragic, it's criminal. It's terrifying. That's not all. He's now pointing to a disturbing pattern of intimidation and suppression, and he's linking it directly to Roc Nation, JayZ's company. Why? Because other people are starting to speak up too. Enter Demery Hadley, the estranged daughter of Roc Nation's CEO Desiree Perez. In an emotional interview, she accused Roc Nation of sabotaging Nicki Minaj, attacking her family, and using their power to silence voices they can't control. According to Demery, Nicki has been blackballed, shadow banned, and targeted for years, and JayZ is allegedly at the center of it. Nicki Minaj herself has now started saying the quiet part out loud. She implied that she's been professionally sabotaged, that her husband and child were attacked, and that JayZ owes her money. Let that sink in. She's not afraid anymore, and she's backing Ramir now too. With Nicki and 50 Cent both amplifying Ramir's case, the court of public opinion is heating up. But so is the legal pressure. Because while JayZ's team used to be able to argue jurisdiction, Ramir now has proof JayZ had property in New Jersey, and that changes everything. For the first time in years, this case has real momentum. Ramir may finally get that DNA test. And if the results confirm what he's believed his entire life, that changes the legacy of hip-hop's biggest mogul forever. Now let's talk about what's really at stake if the DNA test confirms that Ramir is JayZ's biological son. First, there's the obvious legal fallout. If JayZ did have an intimate encounter with Wanda when she was 16 and he was 22, and if he took her across state lines from Philadelphia to Brooklyn, that's a potential statutory case and a violation of federal law. It would also mean that powerful legal teams, possibly including judges and lawyers, knowingly helped cover it up for decades. That's not a scandal, that's a systemic breakdown of justice. Then there's the money. Ramir claims he isn't after the bag, he just wants the truth. But if JayZ is legally proven to be his father, Ramir could be entitled to retroactive child support and any civil damages related to the emotional, legal, and public harm he's suffered over the years. Not to mention the illegal liens allegedly placed on his family's property. Ramir has made it clear that this is about exposing the fraud and getting justice, not about becoming some billionaire's heir. But even more than the legal and financial implications, this has the potential to fracture JayZ's public image forever. We're talking about the man who built himself into a billionaire, a cultural icon, and a businessman respected around the world. If it turns out that he knowingly dodged a paternity claim for 30 years and used power, money, and fear to silence it, how many more skeletons are waiting in his closet? That's why this isn't just about a paternity test. This is about power versus truth. About what happens when someone without wealth or fame dares to take on one of the most protected men in the entertainment industry. About what it means when celebrities, corporations, and courts all appear to collude to bury a story. Ramir said it best. If you're not the father, take the test. Why is the answer always no? That's the question that has the internet on fire. And this time, the silence won't be enough. Because with the court finally allowing the case to proceed, JayZ has been ordered to respond by July 18, 2025. The clock is ticking. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is still fueling the fire. Nicki Minaj is refusing to back down, and even JayZ's longtime critics are rising from the shadows with receipts, stories, and tea that might finally tip the scales. The public wants answers. And if Ramir is right, if this case exposes not only a son, but a long trail of lies, cover-ups, and manipulation, then the most untouchable name in hip-hop might finally be forced to face the consequences. So what do you think? Is this about truth? About revenge? About justice? Or is it all smoke with no fire? Whatever your take, one thing is clear. JayZ has a decision to make, and the world is watching.